I look like a homeless potato. Yay, this is not a challenge video. If you don't like the video, like, don't watch them or unsubscribe or something. I'm not here to make you sad. I'm here to make you happy and just, just be myself. So, I just want to talk about Dear Fat People by Nicole Arbour. She's basically this woman that made, this comedian that made a video basically talking about the issue, fat people and all of that, and it's just a bunch of people just, I feel in my opinion, are blowing this completely out of proportion. Let me explain that first thing, right? I've been watching comedy, or comics in general, for a really long time. I want to say my whole life, but I'm not really quite sure, but I'm addicted, right? This is basically all I do in my free time for like decades now, okay? Well, not decades, I'm not that old, Jesus Christ, like a decade at least. And comedy varies, there's really, like, happy people, that don't make fun of anything, and some tell stories, and then some are like in your face, and some are just like really dark, just like dark in your face about all kinds of things, diseases, groups of people, just anything, dude, trying to just be offensive. And I feel like people understood that, like, it's just comedy, there's so many different types, and there's some that's just not for everybody, and I feel like that's one of those things where she's just talking about a very sensitive topic, and obviously not a lot of people are going to agree with her in what she's saying. But I feel like a lot of what people don't realize is when you're really watching like a comedy video or whatever it is, right? You have to keep an open mind, because I feel like a comedian's job is basically to start conversations, right? They're just talking about things, even if at times it just seems very harsh and offensive and all of that. You just kind of have to read in between the lines and realize, like, okay, yeah, she's saying this, but she means that. Or he's saying this and he means that, and I feel like that's how I took this video. I mean, I'm a fat black person and I was not offended. Like, I was not offended at all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying she's the funniest person on the face of this planet. But I mean, I like her. I like comedians like her, like Stephen Lynch, for example, right? This is like a really open, I don't even know if he makes comedy videos anymore, right? This guy used to make songs about ugly babies, mentally challenged people, the Paralympics, just gay people, everything. Like, this dude was hysterical to me, and millions of people thought he was hysterical. That's because all those people were into that kind of comedy, And like, this is coming from me. I'm not a violent person. I am not an aggressive person. I do not hate anyone for any reason. You could be transgender, gay, bisexual. I give zero fucks. Like, I'm such an accepting person. You would not freaking believe. Like, I just love people, right? Okay, boom. Like, I find, like, this funny, and I don't think, again, they're not doing this to be mean. They're doing this to start a conversation. At least that's how it's always been in my mind, right? And I feel like that's exactly what she's doing. I feel like people should take it as that. And if you don't find her funny, and you find her really, really offensive, which I get both parts, right? I get that this could encourage people to go out there and bully others and make fun of them and body shame them and all of that. I get that. Trust me, I get it. And also I get the part, like, where people could be very sensitive to the topic, and it could just really crush them and harm them and all of that. And it's kind of like, you know what? At some point, you can't try to please everyone, Yeah, people are going to find this offensive. Yes, people are going to find this, to be just atrocious and just like, oh my God, get it off the internet. But it's not really their place to say, get this off the internet. Just because you don't agree with someone doesn't mean they can't exist or just be there. You can just be like, yeah, you're allowed to express yourself, but only in a way that's not going to offend me. That's the problem I have right there. Because I feel like, how can you call it self-expression if I'm supposed to sit here and fake, like, not be real with you and just do what I think will make you happy, and only what makes you happy, because, oh my God, if I freaking offend you in any way, shape, or form, then, I'm out. Like, that's just kind of crazy. I lost my train of thought there. I don't even know if that sentence came out right. But that's the point is, I don't think she's that bad. Again, I don't think she's the funniest person ever. But I like her. I'll keep watching unless I get bored and just stop watching or something. But I just feel like if you don't like her, don't watch it. It's just not your type of comedy. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that, like, when you really hate someone, why do you go back and just support everything that they do? I feel like she should just take this opportunity, make something out of herself with it. Like, just go crazy, like, get brand deals, like, go get her TV shows or series. She could become the most hated comedian ever for all, like I really do not care. Like, and I support her. She's funny shit. I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna enjoy it. And I feel like just people, when it comes to comedy, should just not be that take it so personal, because it's really not meant to be taken personal. It's comedy, in my opinion. And if you don't like it, it's just not your type of comedy, and you just move on, because trust me, there are people out there that do way, and I mean way worse than her, like you would not believe. My camera just died, and as I was saying, okay, there are people out there that do so much worse than her, and I'm not saying that's an excuse for her to go out there and be offensive. Because I feel like if she was deliberately being offensive, trying to be offensive about it, I'd have an issue. But my issue is more of like, just if somebody has a different opinion than you, doesn't mean they're less than, and doesn't mean that they should be censored. That's the main thing that I have. And also, I feel like a lot of people are hating on her just because she does not look like your typical comedian, you know? She's skinny, blonde, an attractive person, and because of that, people might hate her. I feel like if it was like a ugly dude saying all of this, no one would like care whatsoever, or would just be considered normal, because that's the type of people that you're used to seeing doing comedy. And just like, yeah, just let her do her. You don't like her, move on. And that's just how I feel about it. And maybe I'm just I don't know, I don't get offended easily. It's just I'm just not. That's just weird. I don't know. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, goodbye.